Hey, at least you got a little breeze now.
Chase the tents all across the yard.
You're supposed to stake them down, man.
Yeah. What you stakes on his hand? But I got them up.
Yeah, man. Looks like you got yourself a little gypsy camp going here.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can get ready for a concert, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
These two are the only two under $100. The rest of them are over $100.
All right, so under $100. Everything else over. I don't think any of them are over like 130.
Yeah, and they do have rain flies. I just didn't put those on.
You got tired.
0% chance of rain today.
So what's up, internet? Steve and I are back with another test video. Well, mostly Steve. He did most of the work.
As usual.
As usual?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know about that. But we're out here. It's a little bit breezy, so hopefully you're gonna be able to hear us okay. Which
and very hot.
And very warm. So Daniel got some different tents in. These are all backpacking style, lightweight tents, and basically just wanted us to go through them, see what we like about them, what we don't like about them, talk about ease of setup, all that sort of stuff. So Steve's been setting these up as you've been watching in the time lapse. Later on in the comments down below, you can give us your thoughts. So here we go. You ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
All right, Steve-O, which one out of all of them, again, under $100?
Yeah, these two are under $100.
These here, including the Battlbox tent, which we think is awesome. Of course, we're a little biased on that, but all of these are anywhere from $100 to $130. So out of all of them, regardless of price, which one was the easiest to set up?
That one.
That one.
Yeah. Literally, it's got clamps here, stake in the ground. You just put the pole in here, run it through here. It's almost like a jersey. Put it in the hole on the other side. You got two of them. And I will say, all of these have rain flies. Did not put them all on.
Right.
But yeah, kind of cool. Got double zippers. And
Yeah.
you got a mesh underneath here.
Kind of a no-seam mesh, I guess, is what they're
And it's
calling
on
these nowadays.
It's on both sides as well. But
And
you would
on the
open
top.
that from the inside, yeah.
So you got good ventilation. Looks like it's got a decent sized door on it, which I guess is good, you know, from getting in and out of. So is this probably, in tent considerations, I've always aggravated me as far as like space. So you get a tent and it says it's a 2-person tent. Yeah.
Well, they say 2-person, yeah, you could get 2 people in there, but with your backpack and gear.
Yeah.
But I do like this one because you can open the rain fly.
Right.
Excuse me, the bug netting. from the inside. So that's
From the
pretty
inside,
cool.
yeah. So that's nice. So it looks like you got plenty of room in this. The flooring, I'm going to call it, the base, seems like it comes up pretty high. It doesn't feel like it's a different material though, does it?
Well, if you feel this material versus some of the other stuff, you can tell. I don't know what the price. I forget the price point on this.
Right.
But you can tell this is made
A little
very
better.
well. Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be a difference in the base material versus the top material, just color.
Yeah.
So good ventilation, it seems. It's got a mesh all the way across the top, got doors on each side, and a rain fly and 2 poles. And it looks like you can put 2 people in it, but really 1 person and some gear, right?
Yeah. But this was probably my favorite because it's a little bigger.
Right.
As far as the 2-person tents go. Now this one gave me a little bit of a hard time putting together just because I'd never seen a picture of it, and I've never had a tent with this.
Right.
So I kind of struggled, and you'll see in the video, putting this one together.
So I guess when this has a rain fly on it, this
like
helps bring it out a little bit.
Kind of like an awning.
Like a vegetable or whatever.
But once, I mean, now that I see it, it would be a piece of cake to put together.
Right.
But it did give me some trouble because I didn't know what it was supposed to look like.
Okay.
But this was a good one too.
So the difference in this one versus this one, size-wise, they're pretty dang close. This one may be a little taller. Base-wise, they're pretty similar. But this one's got the mesh all over the top and all on the front side. So you really have to rely on the rain fly
for wind protection as well.
For wind protection as well, yeah.
Yeah, and this, I mean, I think is this necessary? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe with the rain fly, but you don't have that on because you got tired.
Which is not a bad design. I mean, I like this too.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for ventilation purposes,
oh yeah.
You know, hot weather purposes, yeah.
And
I mean,
they're all very light. This one's. I chased it across the yard a minute ago.
and this is a different material than this.
Yeah.
This is a thicker material, whereas that one seemed like it's the same material, just a different color. So that's a little bit of a difference there. That's the, I guess we're talking about names. That's the Marmot Catalyst 2P, 2-person. So that's the gear top 2-person, 4 seasons, what they're calling that. All right, so the rest of them seem to be 1-person tents, right?
Yes.
So
you have a 3/4 Steve tent.
A 3/4 Steve tent. Yeah. Let's talk about that one. So this one is really interesting. It's very slim width-wise. As far as 2, this one was probably packed a lot smaller and tighter than some of the others, would you say?
They were about the same size.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I do like this one. It's not as long, but it's a little bit wider. And
a little bit wider.
It's only got 2 poles.
Right.
And can't get any easier.
So,
excuse me, it does have this crossbar here.
So this one's got the crossbar where that one doesn't. This one's a little wider. This is from Alps, and that's also from Alps. So both of those are Alps 1-person backpacking tents. This one has the mesh across the top and across, what would you say, half the back and a little bit on the front right there. So good ventilation on that.
The problem with this one is if you have your head here, that means you've got to somehow walk over where your head's going to be. So with this one, having the door on the side, you don't have that problem.
I see what you're saying. So when you're entering this tent, you have to get in it, track into it, and you're basically laying where you tracked.
Right, and I'm gonna have all my stuff here: my flashlight, my knife, water bottles, some snacks.
Some snacks.
And so, like, if I can have it all in one corner and not have to walk over that,
right?
I mean, it's kind of nitpicky.
Well, I mean, it makes sense though. I mean, it's something to think about when you're dealing with tents, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you where you're going to lay, did you have to track across where that area was, right?
Now,
so
this one's cool over here because it kind of morphs these.
Right.
plenty of space up front and a side door.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have your head here, obviously, and you got plenty of room
Right.
for your stuff, and it's a side door.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So it's wider up here at the front, which is nice for broader shouldered guys like us, but also to be able to have your gear in there with you.
Yeah.
It's not down at your feet. You can have it up there close to you. And the profile's real low to the ground, so this is probably going to be better for windy conditions. It's pretty much mesh all the way around except for the top and the bottom, obviously. How's this one? That one's got the rain fly on it. I don't know if you want to pull that off just so we can see. Okay, so that's full mesh, which I like. Okay, so what I like about the Battlbox tent, not only the fact that it's Battlbox, which, you know, of course we're biased a little bit, and hopefully the wind's not. It's a great time for it to be windy. All of a sudden, it wasn't windy 30 minutes ago. The length on this is way more than these. So for a tall guy, right, you got some length because you can get your head back a little bit further. The door access, you know, if you want to show that, Steve, open that up.
I was under a lot of pressure putting these together, so I didn't stake everything down like I should have. But you know, when you're the workhorse, you just got to get it done.
So you got your side access there. It's kind of front side. It's not middle or anything. It's towards the front. And this one's completely mesh all the way over when the rain flies off. It's 2 poles. You got a foot pole that goes over, and you got this pole here. Very, very similar to this one as far as design, but longer. Great for when it's hot out, because you could take, even without taking the rain fly off, you get pretty good ventilation in it. But of course you could take the rain fly off and you got good ventilation, you're covered, and you ain't got to worry about bugs and all that other kind of crap getting in it, and packs together pretty quick.
Well, unless you really get out there and try it, you don't ever know. Because I mean, a lot of times zippers fail, the mesh rips, you know.
First impressions. I mean, did any of them feel
Well, I love the
cheaper?
Battlbox one, so let's just remove it from.
Right.
We'll remove the Battlbox one because we designed it, so we know what it is.
Right.
That one wasn't really my. It's not bad, but you got to use a lot of stakes to get it right.
Right.
But like I said, I don't think any of them are bad. That was the first one I put together this morning. I was a little grumpy. I didn't get breakfast this morning, so that may be why I didn't like that one. But the yellow one is my favorite.
Okay, so if you were to, all right, let's structure it like this. If you were to take the things you like what would you take from some of these tents to incorporate if you could build your own tent right now? Like,
as far as backpacking, I would take this one here.
the skinny one?
No, the one on the end.
One on the end?
And put a side door on it.
Okay.
I think it's a really cool design.
Yeah. All right, so which one you sleeping in tonight?
Yellow one.
Yellow?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the good thing about the larger ones is you do have more space for gear. The one person ones, not so much. Some of them you do have a little bit more space for gears. That like that brown bottom one is pretty wide.
Yeah.
Probably the most minimalistic out of all of them would be the Battlbox tent. That real skinny one over there. Maybe that orange one. So question is, of course you're not here, you can't feel the materials and all, but if you were to build the perfect backpacking tent, what would be, we'll just say, the top 4 things that you want to have incorporated in it? And what of these tents do you like and would incorporate into another tent? So I guess to make that easy in comparison would be, we'll number these tents, right? So if you want to comment below what you like about each tent, what you don't like about it, and what would be your perfect tent taking away from each one of these. The Battlbox tent number 1, full mesh, 2 poles, it's nice and long, rain fly covers, you still get plenty of good ventilation, and it has side access up towards the front, the head of the area. That's tent 1. Tent 2 is this Alps tent. It's got mesh pretty much all the way around. It has hooks for the poles and fabric loop with opening only in the front of the tent in the entrance there. This one here is also an Alp. It has hooks only. It has mesh over the top, mesh along the back, side access door with fabric and mesh there. So that's going to be tent 3. Tent 4 is this yellow tent, the gear top tent. This was the one Steve really liked. Taller. It's got access on both sides. It's got a large mesh area on your doorway. It has loop or fabric loop for your poles, 2 poles. This one's a 2-person tent. Kind of interesting. It's got a little swiveled, I think that goes there, and that goes on top. Yeah. So with 2 poles, mesh on the doors on each side and mesh on the short side or width side. That's going to be tent 4. Tent 5, full mesh on top and on one side. Front entry door, rear entry door, no mesh on the ends. Of course, all these have rain flies. This one has hooks instead of loops, 3 poles, and it has this pocket here for your awning pole, I guess we'll call that. That's going to be tent 5. 1 through 5 are $130-ish to $100. Full mesh on the sides, full mesh in like the head box area, I call it. Full mesh on this side. 2 entrances on each side. It's wider at this end. It has fabric loops with the poles along with hooks and 2 poles. It's going to be tent 6. Tent 7, the winterall, or winterial. Take the rain fly off. It's side access at the head side, much like the Battlbox tent. And it's full mesh all the way over like the Battlbox tent. It's got hook loops for your poles. If you want to comment, if you want to participate with that, that's 1 through 7, number 7. 1 through 5, $135-ish down to 100. These 2 are under 100. So there's 1 through 7. So if you want to participate again, comment down below what you like or dislike about each one, and you can clarify by saying which tent it is, 1 through 7. And what does your perfect backpacking tent consist of? Lots of mesh, not a lot of mesh, no ripstop materials, hooks, loops. What would you like to have in your tent? So, Steve, I'm not going to ask you to tear this stuff down.
Good.
Because Daniel said he wants to come out here and look at them himself here in a little while. So, we'll let Daniel tear them down.
Sounds good to me.
Sound like a deal? All right, don't forget your cooler. All right, so as always, we appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you like this video, just kind of a explanation of different types of backpacker tents. And if you liked it, hit the like button, share with your friends, and we'll see you on the next testing video. Like I'm gonna go get me a blanket and pillow. Pretty sure I'll end up in the Battlebox tent.